All people human discriminate when God looking at them heart full of hate.
We in a this quarantine, so remember for practice proper hygiene, yeah.
With the virus, yeah, they make man, them coming like a man
Full of Satan.
Some of the people, them not even live to see 2021.
Remember say we in this together, have to fight like a loving sister and brother.
It can kill anybody, even Juwantan.
Vibes cartel can't kill it with them song. Yo, listen to me, the advisor. Wash your hand and use sanitizer.
I know people who are baptized. Corona coming in many different disguise. Tana your yard, Government say unu futana on the yard.
Government say unu futana on the yard. Government say unu futana on the yard.
Corona kill off everybody what we know. Social distancing we have for sure. All people human discriminate when God looking at them heart full of hate.
We in a this quarantine, so remember for practice proper hygiene, yeah.
With the virus, yeah, they make man, them coming like a man
Full of Satan.
Some of the people, them not even live to see 2021.
Remember say we in this together, have to fight like a loving sister and brother.
It can kill anybody, even Juwantan.
Vibes cartel can't kill it with them song. Yo, listen to me, the advisor. Wash your hand and use sanitizer.
I know people who are baptized. Corona coming in many different disguise. Tana your yard, Government say unu futana on the yard.
Government say unu futana on the yard. Government say unu futana on the yard.
I'm standing in this segment, and so too is Dr. Samswan, because this is our moving segment. We're gonna have we're gonna have a session with a professional about what kids can do when they're home. But Prof, so many things were said in the last Vox Pop before we took the break. A lot of the kids have been talking about missing their friends. Can you tell us about the possible psychological impact that could have on a child, not being able to see their friends and all they're seeing, maybe just family and, just family?
Well, the first thing I want to do is to say thank you to all those children, because we know it's hard to stay home and not talk with your friends and not meet with your friends and not to have your birthday party or your graduation. We know it's hard, and we want to thank the children who have been listening to all the information that we have been giving and who've been doing just the right things. So what should they do? What could happen? Well, a lot of them spoke about how sad they feel. And it's important that if they feel sad, that they tell their parents that they're sad. And it's important for the parents to respond to children being sad by acknowledging, yes, I feel sad too. Let's hug so both of us can feel better. So it's important for children to tell parents how they're feeling, because sadness is real. All of us felt sad at some time.
But Prof, I don't mean to cut you, but the reality also is that some parents are losing their jobs. Some parents, they've had to take a salary cut. I mean, the dynamics of how parents now have to operate, that has changed because of COVID-19. So the children are sad, but the parents too are facing challenges of their own.
Right. And so this is the role and responsibility of parents. We have to think about ourselves, yes, and but we have to think about our children. And it's really important for parents to make sure they look after themselves first. Because if they don't feel good, they can't help their children to feel good. So parents have to think about the things that they can control, what's in their immediate space that they can control, and they also have to think about the things that are going okay. So some of the things that may be going okay are, wow, I didn't know my child could do this so well. Wow, I've been able to help my child toilet train since they've been home. I've been able to spend time with them. So we have to find what's good and great and positive in everything that's happening around us. And we also have to take care of the children who are feeling sad.
But there is a concern that this could be our new normal. Although some people expect that it will change or things will change for the better soon, but this could be our new normal for a while. So what are the steps that we should take now, in addition to what you have said, to help us going forward?
Well, what's really important in the home is to establish that new normal in your home. Your home has changed. Some parents are home. The children are definitely home. Some parents are home. Some parents have lost their income. So we have to adjust our home to what is new. And in order to adjust, that means families have to talk to each other. All the people in the home have to say what's happening to them, what has changed, and they have to determine how that home is going to operate now. For children and even for the parents, it's important that while they're home, they set themselves a structure. Now, this is difficult to do, but once you start doing it, you get better and better at it. Because guess what? You were accustomed to a structure when you got up every morning and went to work or took your children to school. There were things that you did behind the other every day. This, when COVID-19 came, things happened so suddenly that we all were kind of just blown away. But now we have to get back into that structure. We have to make sure that the children have a structure. They no longer have the structure of class time in the morning, break time, class time again, lunchtime. They now don't have that. So as parents, we have to help them with that structure. We have to get them up at about the same time every morning, get them dressed, settle them down to whatever you plan for the day. And what's happening in your house isn't going to be the same as what's happening in the house next door. But what's important is that you make sure that your house has a structure that fits your family, and two, that in that structure there are some important things. Time for parents for themselves. Time for children for themselves. Time for children to be engaged in stimulating activities. But time for children to be engaged in physical activity. Always remember that, because physical activity makes sure that our mental health is good. Good for the parents to be engaged too in physical activity. So those are some important things. And sleeping. Make sure that you sleep well and make sure that you eat well. So there are some things that we can control. We can do that structure in our homes, and we can fit that structure to suit just how our home operates.
All right, and I want to pick up on the physical activity recommendation that you have just made, and I want to now bring in Charmaine Plummer. She's an expert. I like to call you an expert when it comes to physical activity. And we're going to look at some of the things that the kids can do at home. Now, I see a hula hoop. If I was dressed otherwise, I would probably try it on. But come talk to us about what are some of the things that kids can now do at home. I'll just step aside so that you can do your demonstration.
Okay, well, thank you for having me. Well, from the Ministry of Health perspective, we're encouraging the students to be very active.
Yes.
60 minutes, 5 days a week. And while we're at home, no matter what space we have, we can do physical activity. COVID, is just allowing us to be a little bit more creative. So you're saying we have the hoops here. We're practicing social distancing. I'm not going to use a hoop for a hula hoop.
And you're not going to tell Janella, get a hula hoop, nor Prof.
Definitely not.
It's just, for example, if you have a square, we can still use it. The kids, I heard them asking, they're away from their friends. They can play games, FaceTime. We can just use the hoop to jump in and out. Because when we talk about the recommendation, it's 60 minutes, and we said that it should be a combination of muscle and bone strengthening activities. So, for example, if you want to strengthen these muscles and bones, you can just jump in, out. See how fun that can be? Don't you guys want to join me?
All right, no.
You see? We can do one, down, up, in, out. So it's just fun activities. Your friend can be over there. We have the social distancing. If you're FaceTiming, your friend is on the other end. And so we can have fun. If you don't have the hoop, you know, in the country, for those of us who we make our Chinese skip, we can make the elastic and we can still use it just the same.
Right.
So we don't have to be in our classrooms. Anywhere we are, we can do physical activity. I'm going to show you. We have a little step at home. Up, down, down, down.
And of course, this is something that parents can do with their
With
children.
their children, yes.
Okay.
This is a simple dice that we can, you know, you can make stuff. You can just roll it. We're saying social distancing. But for example, you could kick it, for example.
Okay.
What did it land on?
Hop on one foot.
Hop on one foot. We just hop.
Do you want me to roll it back?
Yes, yes.
That I
Prof,
can do.
if you roll it back, that means you have to participate.
No, I'm rolling back to her.
Sit up.
Oh,
Sit up.
wow.
You see?
Okay.
And it's simple. We can just sit down, do some sit-ups. And I know the kids will love these type of activities. So you can roll. You do the activities. If you're FaceTiming your friend, they do the activity as well. And, you know, you can just make it into a competition to see who can do the most sit-ups, who can do the most push-up, depending on what is rolled. We have some cones here, again. Remember back in the days? I don't know how good I am, but we can do a little ring toss.
Oh.
I'm not that good. But, or we can still use same little rock and try to hit down the cone. So there's so many activities that we can do at home. And it is fun. Kids can play with their parents and with their friends or by themselves. And of course, we have the good dancing.
Now, you know, Miss Plummer, we asked kids to send us some videos.
Yes.
You know, so let's take a look at what they've been doing at home. So at this point, I want to bring in the president of the Jamaica Amateur Gymnastics Association, Nicole Grant Brown. Are you there, Nicole?
Yes, I am here.
Okay, so you've seen what the kids have been doing. You've seen what Miss Plummer has shown. Is there anything that you'd like to add in terms of what the children can do?
Well, basically, as you know, with gymnastics, they really have to continue their conditioning and training. And you have seen Naraya there doing her walks, and our little Dora there using her weights, and Habe doing her jumps with her weights. But basically at home, the space is usually very small. So we try to help them in terms of having Zoom classes, because with children, not just children though, everyone needs exercise. Everyone, the young and the not so young. And it also helps them with their brain in terms of conditioning their brain, exercising their brain. And during the regular school days, they do have Zoom classes. So we try to encourage them to do exercises after their Zoom classes, just as they were doing at school. So we organized several Zoom classes for them, and they were able to log in and do their regular exercises as they would normally do if they came into the gym. You saw some of those kids doing that just now. They do legs up, not just because at the gym you'll have the stall bars where they can do the leg ups. At home, they improvise and use their grill. Hold on to the grill and pull their legs up. They also do V-ups where they sit and do similar to what you do when you do a sit-up, except that you straighten the legs and bring the legs all the way up into a V with their torso. They do a lot of core exercises as well. And there are so many things that the kids can do. They can do jump ropes, they can skip, they can play Chinese skip with the elastic. They can use any form of bottles filled with water for weights. We're trying not to let them use regular weights, so they'll fill a water with bottle if they don't have like the 2-pound weights, and they will work with those. We try to monitor them, so they'll do their exercises, send in their videos, and we will look at it, correct them, and let them redo the exercise and send them back to us. We also help a lot of children on social media because we post those videos on social media and the children see them and they will call us because our contact numbers are on it. And they will ask us what should they do, and they will do these videos and send them to us as well. These are children we really don't know, and they're all over Jamaica. We all have kids from in London who send in their videos for us to see and to correct. So it doesn't matter where you are, it doesn't matter the space, there is an exercise that the child can do at home.
All right, thank you so much. That was the president of the Jamaica Amateur Gymnastics Association, Nicole Grant Brown. Ms. Plummer, do you have any final comments or any final activity that you want to demonstrate? Whilst you think about that, Prof, there is so much to talk about in terms of screen time versus doing physical activity. We had a problem before with children on screen time, and now everything is now centered around screen time, and now we're telling them to play more, right? So we want to discuss that after the break, but we just want to give Ms. Plummer a final opportunity. I don't know what else can we do. I know you don't want to see me hula hoop, so don't ask me to do that. But any final comments that you have for our children and for our parents, because the parents too are working. Yeah, let's be realistic. They don't really have time to monitor whether or not the children are playing. But what would you have to say to them to get them involved and encourage them?
It is very critical that the parents are involved, because one of the things we're encouraging is for the kids to be balanced. If we have a brilliant mind without a body for it to go in, it's of no use. So we want to be balanced. We have to have healthy bones and muscles. And the best way to do that is by being physically active. So the parents need to be involved. Start showing them some of the games that they used to do before. The dandy shandy, the running, the skipping, the dancing. Play with them. Make time. And even while the kids are doing their schoolwork, instead of sitting down, they can be standing. Since I'm here, I've been standing for the entire time watching, so they can be standing and still learning at the same time. Sometimes they could get up and do some stretch breaks. So if you're sitting down for 1 hour, get up and do at least 10 minutes worth of stretching workout. And we also want to include persons with disabilities. Let's not forget about them. Yes. Everybody must be included. So if they are sitting in a chair, they can raise their arms, they can move their legs, depending. So we want to get everybody moving, because one of the things he's telling us, he said, for the first time in history, our children will die before us because of lack of activities. And we need to get them more active. So we're still working with Ministry of Education to get all our children healthy, because we want to have a balance.
All right. Thank you so much, Ms. Plummer. All right. So the conversation continues after the break, but we want to introduce what our next topic will be with this question. I was told that the person is on the line with a question. Ascende, can you hear me?
Hello.
Hi. Welcome. How old are you, Ascende?
I'm 12 years old.
Okay.
My name is Ashanti Mackenzie.
And what is your question?
Okay, my question is, are we still going to be having graduation? We are going to just go to high school?
Okay, so that's a good question, and I hope that Minister Terrelong is listening, and hopefully he can answer it right after the break.
Thanks.
Hi there, I'm Simon Preston from TVJ. Thank you very much for watching our YouTube channel. To see our latest videos and also to see live events, click here. To see our full videos on onespotmedia.com, click here. Thank you very much.
Reduce your risk of viral illnesses like the flu and coronavirus. Wash your hands frequently with soap and water. Cover your nose and mouth when coughing with a tissue and dispose of it. Avoid close contact with anyone with a cold or flu-like symptoms. If you become ill, please visit your doctor or the nearest health center and share your travel history. The flu and coronavirus can kill. Let's protect each other. A message from the Ministry of Health and Wellness.
So it's Child's Month, and not to be outdone, we're giving children across the country an opportunity to be a part of the COVID-19 conversation at a special town hall on May 24, starting at 5:05 p.m. right here on TVJ. If you or someone you know has a child 12 years old or younger, have them share with us what they understand COVID-19 to be, how it has impacted their schooling, friendships, as well as playtime. Also, if they have any questions to share. Now, video responses can be sent to 876-381-0072. That is 876-381-0072. Now remember, do this and not this when you're recording.
Hi there, I'm Simon Preston from TVJ. Thank you very much for watching our YouTube channel. To see our latest videos and also to see live events, click here. To see our full videos on onespotmedia.com, click here. Thank you very much.
And welcome back to this very special RJRGleaner virtual town hall where we're talking about children and the coronavirus. Now, we ended the last segment with a question about graduation. 12-year-old, Asande, I think that's his name, wanted to know whether or not he will graduate. And this is where we're going to bring in the State Minister in the Ministry of Education, Alando Terrelong. Sir, thank you so much for joining us.
Hey, Janella, how are you doing? Good afternoon to Prof and your other panelists, and I'm seeing Sky and Anthony and some of our bright young kings and young queens on the Zoom screen here. I hope everybody's doing well.
So let's talk about
sir.
graduation.
Yes, sir.
The kids want to know. This is like the big question. Am I going to graduate?
Well, Janella, first of all, let me ask you, what do you think about graduation?
What do I think about graduation? What I think is that, well, I've been seeing what's been happening overseas. We see where there's been a shift. We see the drive-in graduations. We see where people do things online. I'm not sure what the ministry's position is or whether or not we've taken a position. So, will there be graduation?
Yeah, okay, so JP, first of all, I understand that our youngsters, they do want that return to normalcy. You know, I heard our young kings and queens speaking about missing their friends and, not being able to go to school, and we completely understand that. And first of all, I will speak to the question, but let me just say how very proud, as a ministry and as a government, as a nation, how very proud we are of our bright young Jamaicans who have been coping so well throughout this coronavirus. We understand that it is a completely unusual state of affairs. A lot of them are just home. Some persons might not have siblings. They might not have cousins. And as the children said, they miss that, that human interaction where they can play with their friends, see their teachers, and just to get out of the house, So we're very, very proud of you all, Anthony, Sky, and all our young kings and queens who are watching the program, for how well you have managed just to cope with it. Speaking to your teachers and friends on WhatsApp, doing your online lessons, whether on one-to-one or on your own school platforms or on Edufocal, and we're very, very proud of you. Now, just understand, I heard some of you discussing at the beginning of the program about bacteria. I actually stepped away because I was doing some work as well. But I know that some of you understand exactly what is happening with the COVID coronavirus. So we all have to understand that your health and your safety is the most important consideration for the ministry and the government, and also for your parents and teachers. And we would never want to put you in a situation, right, where there was an unnecessary risk or there was a risk that could have been avoided, okay? So whilst I have not yet seen a final position as it relates to graduation, certainly the thought process at this time, okay, is that schools and the ministry will come to a final position as it relates to how best graduations can be conducted. It could be that, as we've seen in the States, we've been having a lot of virtual graduations. So just like how we're having this virtual town hall now with all students and everything else, your school could very well decide that it is in your best interest that we have a virtual graduation ceremony or some other ceremony that does not involve, let's say, 300 or 400 children, and then the 300 or 400 parents, and then the 300 or 400 well-wishers who want to now be in the same space. Remember to talk about the social distancing? I would say that everybody must be at least 6 feet apart. Now, we wouldn't want you all to be in an auditorium where everybody is stacked on each other or very, very close together, because that would not be in keeping with the government policies about social distancing. So you'll probably hear some other people say, just tell a friend and forget a little space. So the whole idea right now is we want persons to be focused on maintaining space, maintaining proper hygiene as well. All right. So that is the thought process at this time. However, we will continue to reevaluate the position based on the updates we receive from the Ministry of Health. Always remember that we are guiding in our decisions by the Ministry of Health also, because they're the ones who are monitoring the spread of the disease, and they're the ones who will tell us about it. Here we talk about community spread. How many
Minister, just 1 second. We need to take a quick break, but I want to pick up from where you left off. We need to take a break now, but we will end with this Vox Pop.
All right.
School is on September. I want to go on the playground with my friends, and I don't want social distance on my friends. I cannot go to school, I cannot go to church, I cannot go to nowhere.
Sometimes by the credits I put on the flow card, it's kind of slow sometimes. So like internet, like Wi-Fi, to make it more easier.
Learning at home, it's okay. It's not as much fun as learning at school because you get to interact with your friends and you get to interact with your teacher, but learning at home, it's not really like that.
Sometimes the data don't work and it affects me because sometimes my mommy has to go to work and she's always busy, so I don't have the internet to call or do the work.
I'm able to stay on my phone longer, relax. Schooling is not hard for me because I understand more when I'm at my house than school.
So you love doing your work at school, at home?
No, I like to do it at school.
Why?
Because school is more comfortable.
And your friends, you miss your friends?
Yeah, that's why I want to go to school.
Hello, my name is Jaden Williams and I am 11 years of age. Even though I'm still getting work from school, I still enjoy staying at home because I can spend more time with my family, exercising, playing Ludo and dominoes. I miss my friends, but even more I miss my teachers.
Hi there, I'm Simon Preston from TVJ. Thank you very much for watching our YouTube channel. To see our latest videos and also to see live events, click here. To see our full videos on onespotmedia.com, click here. Thank you very much.
Reduce your risk of viral illnesses like the flu and coronavirus. Wash your hands frequently.
Hi there, I'm Simon Preston from TVJ. Thank you very much for watching our YouTube channel. To see our latest videos and also to see live events, click here. To see our full videos on onespotmedia.com, click here. Thank you very much.
Reduce your risk of viral illnesses like the flu and coronavirus. Wash your hands frequently with soap and water. Cover your nose and mouth when coughing with a tissue and dispose of it. Avoid close contact with anyone with a cold or flu-like symptoms. If you become ill, please visit your doctor or the nearest health center and share your travel history. The flu and coronavirus can kill. Let's protect each other. A message from the Ministry of Health and Wellness.
And welcome back to this very special RJRGleaner virtual town hall. We're talking children and COVID-19. Now, I'm sure that AJ and Sky are both anxious to get in some questions to either the minister or our experts here. Are you guys still there?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, ask away.
My first question is, what is the usual body temperature for people with COVID-19? And this question is for the panel of experts.
Okay, so thank you for that question, Sky. So your normal body temperature is 98.4 degrees Fahrenheit. So if you, as I said before, some may be asymptomatic, they may not have any signs at all, or some may have a fever which is over 100.4. So you really need to have a thermometer at home, parents. So if you think they have a fever, sometimes we do this and we're thinking of a fever, get the thermometer and check. And also recheck after we've given the Panadol or paracetamol. And it is important that we know when we're not feeling normal.
Okay, AJ, do you have any questions?
Yes, Auntie Janella, what is the purpose of a vaccine?
Okay, that's a very good question. So vaccines are created to prevent from you getting the infection. So sometimes either through what happens in the lab, they can either take a very small piece of the bacteria or virus, they modify it so it does not cause infection in you, and they administer it. Some are by little jabs, by a stick, or some might be drops in the mouth, or some might be even sprays. But when you do that, it helps our body to build up immunity. So there are antibodies which can come and fight off the infection and prevent you from actually getting sick. So all of us are looking forward, I'm sure, to this new vaccine, but it will take time for it to develop. And in the interim, in that time, we have to ensure that we protect ourselves as best as we can.
All right, thank you so much, Doc. Let's now take in some other questions.
My name is Colin Lewis and I have one question to ask. When I go back to school, will it ever be the same? Will I be able to interact with my friends as before?
Hi, my name is Ari Ellis and I'm a student of the Max Junior School. My question is, for the junior schools and the primary schools, will the government make us repeat or pick up back from where we ended when the coronavirus pandemic started?
Hi, my name is Malika Wilkins. I would like to know what the government is doing for the children who are going back to basic school in September.
Minister, it's all yours.
All right. I heard someone about. All right. So just remind me about going back to school in September. What it's going to be like?
Yes. What will be their new normal? They want to know if they can still play. They want to know,
All right. So the new normal going back to school will entail will include wearing masks. Masks are going to be a part of the new normal. A part of the new normal is also going to be more spacing. So children are going to be seated, 6 feet apart, or certainly at the very, very least 3 feet apart. Normalcy for the new normal is also going to involve making sure that you get your temperature checks. All right. And of course, you have to make sure that your hands are properly sanitized. So based on the models that we look, based on the examples that we're looking at right now, you could very well, when you go to your school, before you go into the classrooms, they could very well spray your shoes, all right, just to make sure that any germs or bacteria from outside the road that might be on your shoes, that you're not going to be walking through your classrooms like that as well, all right? It also means, as I said, you're going to be wearing your mask and your temperature checks. And you heard Sky ask about your temperature, just to make sure that your temperature is not higher than normal, which might suggest that you have an illness. In terms of play, we're gonna have to work that one out as well. But remember now that when we're speaking about social distancing and playing and interacting, we now have to be mindful, have to think about, if you're playing, are you going to probably drop off your mask? Are you going to maybe be exchanging bodily fluids? So for example, you might be playing and you drop off your mask and you cough in somebody's face and all those things. So we have to think about those things, all right? And we'll definitely make sure that we issue the proper advisories, like the proper warnings, and make sure your principals and your teachers get them as a way forward, all right? But, not to worry, whatever we do, it is with your best interest at hand, just to make sure that you're properly taken care of and your friends also. JP, could you remind me of the second question?
I think that you've answered all of them, but I just want to pick up from where you left off about the mask, and I want to bring in Professor Sam Zwan. This is going to require a culture change. Kids are normally very touchy-feely. And how do you get say a 4-year-old to keep a mask on?
Oh, that's a task. I've tried it myself. Tried it this morning in church. So it's quite difficult. So we're going to have to be very creative. So we're going to have to make it like a game. So we're going to have designs on the masks, so for example, if a child likes Paw Patrol versus if a child likes some other character, we're going to have to make sure that the masks look like that, that the children actually want to do it. So we're going to have to be as creative as the toy makers have been in designing the masks, in designing games about wearing a mask, in designing games about, how to put it on and how to take it off. Those are going to have to be part of regular school routine. But children, especially young children, learn through play. So as I just said, we're going to have to make it into play in order to change the culture, along with the education bit as to why it's important to wear it.
All right, now I'm going to allow Doc to get her stuff, but in the meantime, our reporter Shamela Pullen, she had some advice in terms of how to put on the mask. Here it's the...
Hi, I'm Shamela Pullen from TVJ's Health Report, which is aired every Wednesday during primetime news. Today I will share tips on how to put on and take off your mask. Inside, turn it to the inside, and then you put this part over here. Then you cover the nose and the mouth, this entire area. Then you slip on the other side. When you're ready to take it off, you pull from the side, take it off. You hold it like this, and then you discard it. I hope those tips were helpful. Thank you for watching and stay safe.
All right, so very soon Doc is gonna give us a little demonstration, but I think we have another question on the line from Nicole, who is a 5th grader. Nicole, welcome.
Yes, hi, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Yeah.
All right, so we're trying to, hopefully we can get Nicole back, but Doc, you wanted to show us how we put on the mask?
Yes. Okay, so boys and girls and parents as well, family, it is now required of us to wear masks once we're out in the public domain, in public spaces. So if you go to school or you're taking our transportation, you have to wear a mask. Now there are different type of masks. These are what we call the surgical masks. I'm going to go through. There are two different sides, and if you feel at the top of it, there is a metal, a very small metal part of it, which is actually flexible. And that's the part that actually goes over your nose, right at your nose bridge. And then you have what you call the loops. So you want to make sure that the folds are facing down so that you won't catch anything in it. So what we do first, so let me show. So you find the metal piece. You may not have glasses, so I guess I should take off mine because most children won't have glasses, right? So you find the metal piece, you put it on over, you fix it, squeeze it onto your nose, correct? And you loop it over your ears and loop it over the other ear. And you adjust it to ensure that you're covering your nose, not into your eyes, because it's going to irritate you. It's over your ears. It's actually quite easy and it's lighter and it makes it more comfortable for the children. And you fix it there. Now it's very important that you keep it on, but if you have to take it off, I mean, you have activities, you have to drink, you have to brush your teeth, then you take it off. Remember that the outer portion is what would have been exposed, and that's the part that may be considered contaminated or droplets might have touched. You're not going to touch up the front of the mask. You're going to take it off. Okay, and when you finish, fold it and throw it
now,
away.
Doc, I want to ask, for the kids going back to school, what type of mask would you recommend?
Well, there are quite a few different masks on the market, and this one is actually, and I'm going to be very, very, very real about it. These are actually easier to breathe through because the days are actually getting very hot now. So you do have some cloth ones. So that's on the ground, so that's dirty. I can't take that one again. So if it falls on the ground, what you're going to do, we're going to have to bin it. So parents, you may actually have to give them an extra one to carry, put in their bags. But I put mine in a plastic bag because I don't want it to get touchy everywhere, get contaminated. So you have some which are made different colors, some have a different,
So this is just an ordinary
It's an ordinary cloth mask, which are elastic band. Put it over your nose, over your ear, over next ear, and make sure it fits and fix it that you're comfortable.
So you would suggest that parents have a little bag so that they can keep their masks in there.
You take it off, fold it, put it away, put it back in the bag, because you're not going to throw this one away. You're going to take this home and you're going to wash it and dry it. And when you take it off, now, hand wash is important.
All right, we soon get there, Doc.
Yes.
Take your time. We soon get there because this is a very important one. We just want to bring back Nicole, a 5th grader, who has a question. Nicole, are you back with us?
Yes, I'm here.
What's your question, Nicole?
My question is, will each grade 6 student be given their tool of their choice?
Okay, good question. Minister, this one is yours.
Hi, JP. She said something about schools of their choice. I couldn't hear her.
Right. So she's asking whether grade 6 students will be placed at the schools of their choice.
All right, well, remember, okay, so all we have changed is the grading model for PEP. All right. So in other words, remember we had indicated that the grade 4, 5, and the other grade 6 exams that were done already, that those would be used for the grading system. So students would still be placed based on the grades that they receive with the schools within this realm of the schools that they have been given, unless there is something else that would prevent that from happening. So it would be, in other words, it's the same placement system that would have ordinarily taken place.
All right. Thank you so much, Minister. We have another question for you, and that one is recorded.
Can Jamaica adopt the same principle as Taiwan and reopen school before September? We are out too long.
For schools to be open before September, that's the question?
Yes. Just like they're doing in Taiwan and Switzerland and Denmark and the UK, June 1. Yes.
Well, okay, well, at the moment, the plan is that school will resume in September, all right? So that is the present plan. Remember now that we are going to be having, for the July and August period, we're going to be having our 5th formers and 6th formers doing their CXE, and our sixth formers, they're going to be doing their CAPE exams. All right. So we would see school returning to the what will now become the new normal in September. However, bear in mind as well that all of this is subject to all of this depends on any further advice that were given by the Ministry of Health and any further decision that the Prime Minister and the Cabinet, this is the Prime Minister and the senior ministers, that they will take if there are any further, if there are any more health concerns. So, for example, God forbid in August or in September, there is an increase in the number of COVID cases, then certainly we could not send you all back to school if there is that risk. But once everything continues as is, we're seeing that we're seeing good numbers coming out. And last week we had at least 3 days when there were no new cases. So we're on the path for September, of course, unless something drastic happens.
All right, thank you so much, Minister. Now, when we come back, I just want to pick up where we left off about hand hygiene and hygiene in general. But to throw to the break, here is a video of how to wash your hands, I think.
That's all you wash on.
All right, so we'll be talking about that. Doc, did he do a good job?
He did a very good job. I think I heard it squeaky clean.
All right, so here's another one as we go to the break.
And today I'm teaching you how to be free from coronavirus. We are going to be using water, soap, and this body paint. The body paint is to show how germs can be on your hands. And now I'm going to sing happy birthday. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, happy birthday. Happy birthday to you. May the good Lord bless you. May the good Lord bless you. May the good Lord bless you. Happy birthday to you. Now we can be free from coronavirus.
Hi there, I'm Simon Preston from TVJ. Thank you very much for watching our YouTube channel. To see our latest videos and also to see live events, click here. To see our full videos on onespotmedia.com, click here. Thank you very much.
Reduce your risk of viral illnesses like the flu and coronavirus. Wash your hands frequently with soap and water. Cover your nose and mouth when coughing with a tissue and dispose of it. Avoid close contact with anyone with a cold or flu-like symptoms. If you become ill, please visit your doctor or the nearest health center and share your travel history. The flu and coronavirus can kill. Let's protect each other. A message from the Ministry of Health and Wellness.
So it's Child's Month, and not to be outdone, we're giving children across the country an opportunity to be a part of the COVID-19 conversation at a special town hall on May 24, starting at 5:05 p.m. right here on TVJ. If you or someone you know has a child 12 years old or younger, have them share with us what they understand COVID-19 to be, how it has impacted their schooling, friendships, as well as playtime. Also, if they have any questions to share. Now, video responses can be sent to 87.
Unplug negativity, connect positivity. Think.
I mean, our kids are so talented. How good was that? But I think we also have another question from Sophie. Sophie's on the line. Hello, Sophie, and welcome.
Hello.
Do you have a question or a comment?
I was asking that, like, if school should be open.
Okay, go ahead, Sophie, with your question. If
school should open September. What like children sick with?
Okay, so you need to turn off your television or turn down the volume because you're listening to yourself. But I suspect her question is about children and asthma, something that we touched on. Children with asthma wearing masks. Can you respond to that? Should they or should they not?
Well, to tell the truth, we may very well be still wearing masks for the rest of the year. We really don't know. But it also means, and we have a real understanding that children with asthma, when they get a cold, it can trigger off their asthma attack. So that means that they have to, and parents have to fully understand to detect the early signs when they're getting into problems and start their inhaler or their puffs as their doctor would normally have told them to do. So it's also important to make sure you have your medication at home. So don't run out of your medication because that's the rainy season. That's the time we usually get colds and coughs and flu around that time of the year. So again, taking the necessary precautions.
All right, I think we have another question.
My name is Deandra Ford. What can we do to protect the police officers?
Doc?
I think that is such a wonderful question because she's not thinking about herself. She's thinking about others. And that's one thing COVID should teach us is to be considerate and think about others. And let me just take the opportunity to kudos to our police officers. I've seen their positive work in helping children to get their homework done and get their schoolwork done. And that's a very selfless act, and thank them very much. So to protect our police officers, they need to have their masks, and I know it's hot out there sometimes they're out on the road. That is why we try to find advice to use breathable masks that won't make you uncomfortable. Remember to drink your water when you're out on the road. You're going to get very hot. But also we can help the police by not being disobedient, making sure we obey the rules and that we are not breaking the curfew times and that we don't have all these fights and fuss that the police have to come out and try and intervene in. If we all behave ourselves, then it would make life for the police much easier, I'm sure.
All right, thank you so much, Doc. We have another question on the line. It's from Danielle, and I think she's 10. Hi, Danielle.
Hello.
Welcome. What is your question?
My question is,
if coronavirus is still around during September, why can't we have seals around the desks of the children like persons overseas?
Okay, so you want shields around the desk. Minister, this one is for you.
Are shields around the desk?
Yes, like, yeah, the shields to
Like
protect
protective
them.
shields.
Yes.
Okay, all right. So I have not seen a plan for shields around the desk, all right? But certainly I can discuss it with our team at the ministry, all right, and see if that is a proposal that it sounds like a good proposal, and to see if that can be a part of it. But for right now, I have not seen shields around the desk as a part of the plan, but it's a good suggestion. But remember, as I said earlier, what we want to make sure is that our desks, that they're at least 3 to 6 feet apart, so that there'll be enough space, enough room between individuals to keep with the general guidelines of social distancing. So we want to maintain enough space between you and the person who sits next to you. And of course, we spoke about wearing your mask already, not putting your hands in your face, and of course, proper hygiene. General, if I will say, I must say also that our the National Parenting Support Commission, they have been in partnership with UNICEF and other organizations, and we do have our 24-hour helplines for parents, and the lines are per parish as well. So we have, obviously lines for Kingston and St. Andrew, for St. James and so forth. We have over 22 telephone lines. All right, there's a minimum of 2 lines per parish. Some parishes have 4 lines. And so I can WhatsApp.
Minister, I'm being told that we're out of time, so I'm gonna have the 2 co-hosts, Kai and AJ, to take us out. If they have any final comment, I'm so sorry, but we can have this. We can continue this conversation.
Comment.
Go ahead.
Will school be on shift, or how many children in a classroom?
Okay, so this is a question, AJ, and again, we will have to continue this conversation after, because we really have to wrap it up. I think that we're out of time, and I just want to say thank you so much to Sky and AJ, my 2 co-hosts. Thank you so much, my panel. Thank you so much, Minister. Thank you so much to our hard-working production team. Thank you to everyone who tuned in. It seems as if we need a part 2. I think we need a part 2 because, it's just so many. So we're going to end with a message to our first responders. Pleasant viewing.
Thank you for all the first responders. Wash your hands, wear a mask.
Hi there, I'm Simon Preston from TVJ. Thank you very much for watching our YouTube channel. To see our latest videos and also to see live events, click here. To see our full videos on onespotmedia.com, click here. Thank you very much.
Reduce your risk of viral illnesses like the flu and coronavirus. Wash your hands frequently with soap and water. Cover your nose and mouth when coughing with a tissue and dispose of it. Avoid close contact with anyone with a cold or flu-like symptoms. If you become ill, please visit your doctor or the nearest health center and share your travel history. The flu and coronavirus can kill. Let's protect each other. A message from the Ministry of Health and Wellness.